G'day and welcome to Bums on the Bench. My name is Jacko. I'm joined by two new guests this week. I have a man who has zero hair on his head, and I'm also joined by a man who has zero hair on his face. Josh and Andy.
Hi, how'd you know I was bald?
You're not bald. Your
on, don't
alopecia
mess.
begins under your fringe.
No, his alopecia begins on his eyebrows.
Actually, it begins everywhere. That's just not my top of my head. I am hairless everywhere else.
And Andy, you're bald. Ish.
That's just mean.
Yeah,
That's just mean.
Fuck you, Andy. You're bald.
So that's been Bums on the Bench. We'll see you next week.
Yeah,
I think
the
that's a
episode that
lovely
gets
week.
deleted. So,
So what's been going on in the sporting world?
drama. Drama's what's been
Drama?
going on. So, we've had the NRL pretty much exclusively tell Gus Gould to shut the fuck up.
Absolutely smartest decision they could have made.
We're moving into Origin season, which I guess is the theme of our episode today, because I set a challenge in the group chat for everyone to come up with their New South Wales Blues 13. What else has been going on? NBA's been kicking off, but we'll probably talk about that next week because I haven't seen any of it. And that's really it, I guess, on my end. What about you two?
Well, the team list this afternoon were quite shocking for a certain game that's coming next Tuesday.
Oh, so the team list for the Dragons v Roosters have been released.
They have been released, and we are starting Manu at 6 and Kiri at 7, with Momorovsky at 3. And Suwali Suwali's at 3 and Momorovsky's at 4. But that's the biggest change. Sam Walker has been dropped.
Any news on why Sam Walker's been dropped from
Form.
this game?
I'm going to guess it's a kick up the arse because he hasn't been playing well. Also, we have a returning Angus Crichton and a returning Satili Tupanua.
I love
We got
Satili
Ravalawa.
Tupanua. I love
My
him.
only
I
problem
think
is
he's
he hasn't
fantastic.
played since round 18 last year, and he's notorious for being drop ball. Butterfingers
but
when he's just back.
that's your whole squad this year, bro. I don't know what the complaint is there. Sounds like he's in fine form.
No, our problem is discipline. We just like to give away stupid penalties all the time.
Hey, man,
Yeah.
at least you don't just give away stupid points all the time.
I mean, that's the only saving grace I have next week when we go is at least I don't give away stupid points, give away stupid penalties.
Or, hold the ball right at the very end on the last 80th minute and just send your front row to run it instead of, passing it off or making any sort of play.
Someone sounds jaded after last weekend.
I can't
I
believe
am.
they're fucking lost.
It was bullshit. It was the worst. Look, I love Ben Hunt, but he's had 2 brain snaps in a row. Why?
I reckon it's fully because of this whole Hook situation. Hey, like with the comments that he's made when they, were asking him a couple questions, the controversy now surrounding him about whether he's going to stay if they do decide to part ways with Hook. I just think that it might be starting to get to him.
What about the other news coming out of your boys? I want both of your takes on this, how the Dragons are potentially chasing a former coach
Don't fucking say it.
to become the head of football and oversee a young coach taking over the reins next year.
I'm telling you, I'm not supporting the Dragons if Nathan Brown comes back.
So you're going to fins up if Nathan Brown's back?
Ends up, baby.
Look,
Jack, what do you think if Nathan Brown comes back and starts slapping players on the sideline?
I mean, okay, this is going to sound controversial. What he did was a disgusting act to Trent Barrett, but I think it would have a pretty good effect if he did it a couple of times to our current team. I'm just throwing it
Fair
out
enough.
there. Maybe we deserve a little bit of it. But no, if he does come back, it's going to be hard to support the Dragons because it was just a massively shameful display. I'm
And
probably
beyond
going to
that-
support the North Sydney Bears when they get announced as the next team. I'll take a year off. I've said some shit about every other team on the show and in the chat. I don't think I could support any other team.
I'm just a little bit taken aback by the way they go through with him when he's have a proven track record of leading the Dragons down the shittest path I've ever seen in my life and really just not reflecting well upon what the attitudes of an NRL club should be.
Oh, hard agree. I guess I have been for the last 2 years saying Jamie Soward. They're not even
I
looking at
agree.
him as an option. I know they are looking at Des. They're looking at Riddell.
Desi would be a good kick up the ass for you boys, or Madge. Both of
Madge,
those coaches
I would
are hard
back
asses.
Madge. 100% Madge.
I still like the trio. Fucking what's their names?
Hornby, Riles, and Young.
Yep, Hornby, Riles, and Young.
Well,
I love that idea.
Here's the thing. I think Riles is a lock for Melbourne, unfortunately.
Unfortunate.
He will move into that role. He's at the Chooks at the moment. He'll move into Bellamy's role next year. Hornby, I like the idea of it, and he has got out of the Dragon system, which is key for me.
I think if we are going to go down the path of Hornby, though, it should only be an offensive backline sort of coach, because that's one of our biggest problems. And Hornby really would have, being a smaller fella himself, he has the running energy. He would know how to break through the larger players. And I feel like as a defensive player, he lacked a little bit.
See, here's my thing. I think Hornby as a head coach is good because he'll surround himself with the right people to put into that offensive role or defensive role. Dean Young also, I feel similar. They both got out of the Dragon system. Dean Young's at North Queensland, Ben Hornby's at South Sydney. So both very good systems to be coming out of. Maybe not North Queensland at the moment, but both similarly good systems to come out of and move into that head coaching role. Here's my issue with it. You don't need a young coach. You need a very experienced coach to pull that fucking team together. That team is just, they don't look like they're playing football together. It's similar to the Roosters at the moment. They both these teams don't look like they're playing football together. They look like they're just looking for someone to make a play. And Robbo, to his credit this week, has decided to wield his medieval axe and chop Sam Walker's legs off and send him back to reserve grade. Your boys need a little bit more than that.
Well, yeah.
Maybe we need to take Ben Hunt's head off or something. I don't know.
I think it's getting to the point where if we do change coaches, I also think we should probably throw the baby out with the bathwater and do a proper clear out of the salary cap. I do still think Ben Hunt's worth the money, but his heart is clearly with Hook. So if Hook goes, Hunt goes. That clears up $1 million. Lomax and Ravalawa aren't playing to the level of their contract yet either. So if we do have a coaching change, I really want to see a proper clean out, be absolutely atrocious for a couple of years, slightly more than we are now, and then actually rebuild a proper squad around people who genuinely want to be there, who have that fresh new, I guess, enthusiasm for being part of a club that's on the rise. And then we come back in 2 or 3 years and see what we're capable of. I just don't want it to kind of be like the Tigers over the last couple of years, how we go, we're going to change this one facet when clearly you need to change all of it at once. So I hope when St. George Illawarra pulls the trigger, they pull it properly and clear out as much as they can and just start again. And we'll see what we can get.
There's only one slight issue I have with that. The board for St. George Illawarra are notorious for being infighting similar to the West Tigers.
They're actually just the biggest pricks alive.
Exactly. Like there's clearly two sides of the faction here. There's a side that want Hook and there's a side that don't want Hook. It's similar to the West Tigers. You've got Balmain that seem to control everything. West that seem to control everything, and Balmain sort of just sitting there being like that nuisance. It's like, no, we're not doing it your way, we're doing it our way sort of thing. And I think that's the same at St. George because both those clubs are merger clubs.
I think as well we need to play into the fact of look at the current controversy the previous controversy that surrounded Mary McGregor. We're running through the same situation again. It's just the board is deciding they have just got nothing but infighting, and it's now reflecting poorly on the team. If anything, they might need to look even higher at maybe removing some of those because clearly the faction infighting is just going to keep affecting any coach that comes in.
I agree. I think it's similar with what's going on at the West Tigers. I think the West Tigers rebuild begins when Justin Pascoe gets the sack.
I mean, this is the same thing that happened with bloody Farah.
Robbie.
Think about all the infighting and everything.
Oh, with Justin Taylor as well.
Yeah, like it's almost a repeat set over at the Dragons compared to what's happened to them. And if anything, it's just showing what our future is going to be like if we don't chop the head off of the board.
I get where you're coming from. I feel like Jack also feels the same way in a way because being a St. George fan, he just wants to see success rather than get yelled at every week that his team sucks.
Oh, 100%. And it has to be it has to be a proper reset. Like what I said earlier.
proper
so if you're going
rebuild.
to pull the plug, do it properly.
No,
Do
I
it
agree.
properly.
And start at the top and just cut the dead weight. Don't re-sign anyone and just start rebuilding from scratch in a way. And understand that as fans, you're going to have 2 to 3 years where your team sucks while they get rid of these contracts.
It's been happening for about 6 or 7 years.
What's
now,
another 2 or 3?
What's another 2 to 3?
And we have seen really good effect of clubs doing that in recent history. So the Doggies, under Trent Barrett, they got rid of him. They brought in their new coach. They brought in a couple of new players who were excited to work with the different coach. And the Doggies are a different animal this year. They're clearly still
Same with
relying
Warriors.
on their new buys, but they're fantastic. You saw what the effect Wayne Bennett's had at the Dolphins. People were like, it's a brand new club, but I'm willing to risk it over there. Tigers, that's what we don't want to end up with.
I think you've forgotten 2 key aspects or 2 key teams, especially this year, that show also the promise of a fresh restart. Look at the Warriors. They're starting to actually look a lot more contentious than they were last year.
And the Broncos.
And the Broncos. The Broncos are the biggest example here.
Yeah.
Like we discussed this last time.
Yeah, Broncos have successfully rebuilt the club, and what they did was 3 years ago, they're like, nah, let's reset. They reset. They brought in guys like Adam Reynolds. They cut big name contracts that you were just like, what are you doing getting rid of these people? You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, 3 years later, we're seeing the results of it right now. You know what I mean?
As Jack said, you free up that salary cap, you start getting players interested. You could entice some of these real big names right now by saying, listen, we're going to start up the club again. We're going to try and make a difference. Do you want to be the leader of this team? It could really give those with ambition a drive to want to jump ships.
I understand that. There's just one slight thing we're overlooking with this. Brisbane's always been a powerhouse, so you can believe it when Brisbane says it when they come to the big name contracts. With St. George Illawarra,
We're not.
yeah. People sort of, they have the choice between going to the Dragons or signing for less at a bigger club. Where do they tend to go?
Roosters.
I wasn't
Melbourne.
naming my team. I was just...
We are.
But that's what I mean. Like, it comes with the culture at the club. I think the culture at the club needs a reset, and they need to entice people by showing a reset culture. And the only way to do that is to start from scratch again. Get rid of the cancer, and see what happens.
Agreed. Hard agree. Let's leave the Dragons there because I feel like we could just talk about all the things that aren't going well all day. We had a whole weekend of footy that most of us watched. So
I watched some. Actually,
well,
I
you
watched one game and gave it off. I gave it away for the weekend.
Yeah. Andy for the, I want to say, what round are we on, Josh? 7.
7.
Round 7. I think Andy quit football for the 7th round this year in the group chat.
Real proud of you, man.
Also, I got fucking 3 tips.
I got 6.
Got 4.
How?
Got 6.
I got 6.
What?
The only 2 I missed, Melbourne and the Roosters.
I want to say we're going to be discussing Melbourne because what happened there?
Craig Bellamy had a heart attack.
That was one of the most shittest games that could have occurred this year, and it's only round 7. Melbourne looked like they were just a second-grade team. Manly were just fired up and ready to about smack each one of them. And the amount of drop balls I've seen, I was just disappointed.
Yeah, it wasn't fucking
Bring back
good.
the biff, lad.
Wasn't good. I do actually want to talk about another game too.
Oh, yeah?
The
One and
Knights
only you watched?
game. Knights
Oh,
Penrith.
yeah.
Do you feel bad Newcastle walked away with nothing?
No. I disagree. Newcastle did an incredible job. I think every single player played their absolute heart out. So the best I've ever seen Newcastle play. Also, shout out to the Newcastle fans. They packed out the stadium and it sounded insane through the telly. You could hear the crowd.
26,000.
Yep.
My boss's kids were there.
When it comes to it, this also shows, I think, despite that there was 2-13 sides playing, this shows the difference or the reason why Nathan Cleary is Australia's halfback. Because when that pressure is on, when they've been down all game, he stood there and he absolutely drilled it. So I was devastated for Newcastle because I like seeing Para get beat. I cheered when St. Helens beat them. But I do really like Nathan Cleary, and that's just what he does. Also, from that game, this might rub a few people the wrong way. I have long hair. My hair comes down well past my nipples. No one's seen what I look like online, but I have long hair. A lot of players in NRL have long hair. The penalty that Luai got, which was mostly jumper with a strand of hair, you should just tie it up, mate. I don't think that was fair when every other player wears their hair in a style that doesn't impact the equalness of tackling plays the way that everyone else has. I think it was unfair that Newcastle was penalised when Luai could have easily worn his hair in a bun or in braids or in a plait like most of the other players do. That really rubbed me the wrong way. And that's my whole take on the Newcastle game.
Fair enough.
Andy, comments?
Well, I don't have hair, so I can't comment on Luai.
Oh, no.
But I have a proposal, and I can't believe I'm going to do this. I'm going to agree with that old prick, Buzz Rothfield.
Yep.
I think the NRL... I think the NRL should change their point system to 4 points a win. And if a game goes to golden point, the winner gets 3 and the loser gets 1 because they did enough in regular time to force it to extra time. Because I felt bad Newcastle walked away with 0 points. That's the only time in the history of the NRL or my life that I've ever felt bad for Newcastle in any way, shape, or form.
I just think they should have won it. I reckon they played better.
They did play. They did play better.
They were straight up really, they were held it from the start, actually. I was about to say they came back. No, they fucking had it. They actually were leading 2 tries. They had, 2 points on Penrith? That was about it. Knights have shown that when they pull their finger out,
they can play
football.
football.
Can perform, and that they don't need to rely on Ponga.
He wasn't even playing.
No, he was not. They don't even need him in the squad to make them a comparable team. What they need, and I know this is the most bullshit cop out there, they need to believe in themselves because clearly when they do, there's result.
No, I agree. And I think the first thing that Newcastle need to do is get a new coach.
Oh, yeah, Adam O'Brien. I said it before. I get real bad vibes from him. I get real bad vibes. Yeah, look, I get both your points. Andy, I hate Buzz as much as the rest of the nation hates him. He does make a valid point. I think if it's golden point, maybe there's a little bit of a concession there.
Or you keep the 2 points for the winner, but the loser gets 1 point. Like they go to a draw, they both get 1 point because, hey, you made it to extra time, you get something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the winner gets the extra point to make it a 2 point thing. I don't know, but it's just, I just really felt bad for Newcastle because they played their arse.
So I actually want to add something. I agree with you, but also for another reason. When you get to golden point, it's just a field goal kickoff.
Yeah, exactly.
First one to get it. It is not like it's extra time to really try and muscle up and get that extra point. No, it's just you can score a field goal from
you should just fucking have 90 that they play the full 10 minutes of it, right? Just have extra time. Don't call it golden point. Have extra time. Have the full 10 minutes of it and see what happens.
Or even if you do 5-5 and if they manage to score a point,
yeah, keep it going till the end. That's why I like soccer in a way, because soccer you finish 1-1 or 0-0, which is very regular, and it's a playoff game. You play 30 minutes extra of extra time, 15 minutes each way, and then if it's still draw, they play penalties. Now, you can't do penalties in NRL, but what you can do...
Did you get dropped on your fucking head this week, Andy? You've just said soccer's got a good idea and Buzz has a good idea. What happened to you? But you do make a very good point. I like golden point. I do like
Make it golden
point.
try.
I like the excitement.
Make it golden try.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. You're not allowed to kick a field goal. You have to go over the line to score.
Dude, what if you just did conversions instead from multiple
field
points and it
goals
got harder?
from multiple points? But no. How about this? Okay, so you play the full allotment of extra time, but it's golden try. So if you kick a field goal, suck shit, we keep playing. Or a try,
If you score a try,
it's game over.
Win.
And it doesn't matter if you kick 6 field goals and they've only scored 1 try.
As long as they convert it,
Yeah,
you
and
guys
it's
have
game
tied
over.
still. They've
That's
won,
fantastic. Have we just fixed NRL?
Maybe. Probably not. I'm sure they'd find a way to fuck it up.
Yeah.
Volandis, hit us up.
We've got.
I could
plenty
fix this
of
sport
ideas.
quite easily with a lot of really fun ideas.
Next one, skirts for the players.
All right, we're doing the origin. I actually put, for once in my entire life of being a podcaster, I have put some thought into what I'm about to say. I did a 13 and and a bench.
I did 18.
And I think
I got
I
18.
have a very good state of origin team. Let's go 1, and we all say our number 1,
Okay.
and we just go through the numbers from 1 to 13.
And we fight each other on anything that
enough.
we disagree with.
Yes. So, gentlemen, drum roll please. At the fullback position, I have picked James Tedesco.
No
I'm
way,
so
that's
shocked.
so
I also
original.
picked James Tedesco, and I made him captain.
I picked Teddy as well. And
He's the captain. He's going to get picked.
Yep. Okay. Number 2, Brian Toto.
Yeah, Brian Toto.
oh yeah.
All right?
Yep.
Number 3, I think this is when we're going to differ. Latrell Mitchell.
I also have a Latrell.
Oh, dude, Trell Mitt would be real good. I didn't pick him.
You didn't pick Trell Mitt? Who'd you pick?
Tony Staggs.
Yeah, well, I've got Katoni at 4.
Yeah.
Who you got at 4?
I have Katoni at 4 as well.
So who does Josh have at 4?
Crichton.
Stephen Crichton. Yeah, fair enough. Who you got at
Not fair enough. You're an idiot.
Oh, that's fair.
I hate you. Number 5,
I got Turbo.
Josh Adokar.
No, he's injured, dickhead.
Yeah, he can't play.
He'll be back.
No, he won't. He's out
He'll
for.
be back.
He's literally out for the next 12 weeks. He's not back for Origin. Pick someone else.
It was 8
It
weeks.
was 12 weeks.
8 to 12.
Yeah.
So cut the difference.
So either way, he's not eligible. Pick someone else.
See, I did pick Garrick, but
No.
I kind of like the idea of having Tommy Turbo out on the left.
Yeah, I like the idea of Tommy Turbo on the left and also just hovering a little bit
Yeah, because
because he's so good at hovering like Manu.
like, and you saw the try.
Yeah.
Literally the first try of that game where he just shot through bang.
Why do you
Not
think
the-
I have Turbo at 5?
I mean, I can't blame you. It's fantastic.
I didn't pick Turbo specifically because we've seen his physical health decline quite a bit over the last 2 years, and he had back spasms in the other game. I think if Tommy's pick, Queensland will go, well, that's clearly a liability. Hit him really hard and really early and see if we can get him out of the game. Not in like a dog shot way, but just pressure him. So if I can't have Josh Adokar, I want Ruben Garrick.
So let's go to 6. I think this is where we all differ.
All right.
I've gone big and I've gone Nico Hines.
I've gone Nico Hines.
I've gone Lua.
See, I think Lua's getting dropped. His heart's in Samoa, not New South Wales. And I think Freddie and Brandy's jobs are on the line, and it's enough for him to make this call.
I mean, like, he's proved that he's ready. Nico Hines.
Nico Hines should be the 6 this year. And it was a really big toss-up between him and Burton for me. A big toss-up. And the fact Fighton retired yesterday from rep footy,
Hot like information, by the way. I can't believe he's just up and gone, nah, I'm done with rep.
I think it speaks volumes to the situation down in Canberra, and we can get into that after this. But the guys on 360 had a very good take on it, and I agreed with them again. I fucking hate that I'm agreeing with these guys so much this year. But anyway, so you've got Nico, do you, Jack?
Yeah, look, I think you've got a valid point about Luai in regards to where he sees his future in rep footy. But for me, it's simply a form thing. You have a Dally M half, the best player in the league last year. He's come back to the Sharks. He's won the games. Luai's form hasn't been as good this year as it was last year. It's not. I don't think Luai's a bad player. I still think he's a fantastic football player. But Nico Hines is better.
No, I agree. And also
the only thing I'm going to say, though, is chemistry.
the chemistry. Yeah, I
The
understand.
chemistry with Nico Hines is not going to be apparent with everyone else.
No, but what Nico said after the game last week was apparent to me. He said, I hate Queensland. I'm happy to put my hand up and play 6 for New South Wales because I hate Queensland.
Sign him up. No, yeah, no, he's my
The fact he said that means sign him up. He should be the first name on the team sheet.
He's ready to go. He doesn't fucking give who he plays with as long as he takes down Queensland.
Yeah.
Look,
that's the attitude we
the-
need.
The chemistry is a good point, but we had pretty much a Penrith side last year. It was all chemistry, and
Didn't work.
We
Too much.
didn't win.
No, we didn't win.
We didn't win.
That's
What I think New South Wales does wrong with our current selections is we go, well, let's pick 13 X Factor players, and none of them are able to actually just become a servant to the team and the identity. Luai and Cleary are both X Factor players. So is Nico Hines. But I believe that Nico will go, my job is to run the ball and give Nathan space.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we go wrong every year, because you've got 13 players who go, don't worry, boys, follow me. And no one goes, I'm just going to do my job today. That's why Queensland beats us every year, because they don't always pick a matching 6 and 7, but they pick a brilliant half, and the other person goes, well, he's clearly the person I'm supporting this game.
Oh no,
And
the
it
only
works.
reason
They just come
Queensland
out and play
win-
footy.
Jack, the only reason Queensland win is because they picked the best number
They
9 in
cheat!
the game.
They are cheating.
Ben Hunt.
Benny Hunt, baby.
And they're cheating.
They
And
cheat.
they're Ben Hunt.
So who we got at 8?
I feel like we're all agreeing on this.
I've
one.
got Payne Haas.
I also have Payne Haas.
I have Payne Haas.
Yeah. It says we didn't go to 7. I'm going to guess we all have Cleary at 7.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's just move on to 9 then.
Yeah.
There's no argument there.
Obviously.
9.
Yeah, if you're playing Australia's halfback, you're in a fucking Origin side. It's the rules.
Yeah. So who have you got at 9?
I have Coruscant.
Happy Coruscant.
I've got Damien Cook still.
He's my interchange, actually.
I think Damien...
Yeah, I've got him on the bench.
Here's my reason why. I've got Cameron Murray on the team as well. I think Cameron Murray and Damien Cook work really well with the quick play the balls. Cameron Murray gets a quick scoot. Damien Cook gets a quick scoot. All of a sudden, we're 30 metres up the field. And then you've got James Tedesco hovering. He gets a quick scoot. We're already in Queensland side of the
And
field.
I mean, like, as it was clearly stated in the Rabbits game, they are a stop-start team. Having that sort of maneuverability, especially being their hooker, it would just enable them to gather a lot more meters and make the breakthroughs that they're known for making.
Exactly. And it all stems from Cameron Murray's quick play the balls.
God, he's just fantastic. I hate saying
I
that about a
hate it
Rabbits
too.
player.
Anyway,
I love Cam Murray.
why have you gone Coruscant? Is it just because of the Penrith ties?
Yeah.
He's also playing for the West Tigers.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, but they still have the Penrith ties
Yeah,
from last year. Like,
but
the
so's Luke
chemistry's still
Brooks.
there.
Yeah, but Luke Brooks is nowhere near this team for me.
Yeah, I don't have
Well, that's
Brooks anyway.
yeah. Look, no, I don't have him anywhere either. But I do believe that he's probably going to be picked this year, because I think Freddie's finally had a bit too much to smoke and is fully cooked. I picked Coruscant simply because what you said about Cook and Murray, I'm going to say the same about Cleary, Coruscant, and Yo.
Yeah, I get that. But I don't know. I think Appy being at the Tigers this year like really hampers his selection this year, because the Tigers look woeful and the best player in that team is Appy Coruscant, but he can't do what Appy does because he's always looking for someone to pass the ball to. So Appy's not showing his true talent, therefore you have to go with the player in form, and that's going to be Damien Cook come Origin.
I do
can't
have
refute
a rebuttal to that point. I've got a rebuttal, man, because that is exactly what you can say about Kalen Ponga.
You can say that
Because
about...
there's two Kalen Pongas.
There's Queensland
Origin and Knights
Yeah.
Ponga. Yeah? So Appy might be our version of that. So that's my rebuttal to that point. I don't disagree with you, but I think if we can say it about a fullback for Queensland, we could say the same about a hooker for New South Wales. The good thing is both our picks are in our squads, right?
Yeah, Appy's in my
so we
squad.
mostly agree.
Appy's in my squad. He's not in my team.
Yeah, and
Fair.
Anyway,
I mean, I have Cook in my squad, just not my team.
so 10.
I mean,
Who have we got at 10?
I've got Paulo, but I mean, I could probably just like slot in Frizzell or Sims or Talakai, just like someone big up the front that can last and just make a rotating forward roster.
I got Gerbo. New South Wales
a good
rarely
choice.
lose when Gerbo's starting at 10.
True.
This was a really hard pick for me. I went with Junior Paulo, but it was such a toss-up between him and Gerbo as well. Like, genuinely, I was like, flip of a coin. All right, Paulo, he gets the pick. Because I've also got a second rower from Parramatta as well.
So mine will come apparent when you see the bench I have, why Gerbo and Payne are starting. So
Okay, I like it.
at 11, I've got Liam Martin retaining that spot. I think he's a good kid. He also works. He
Andy.
works with Cleary. He works with Yo. works with Toto. Like, Liam Martin's a good kid. And plus, he brings some grunt that we just don't have up front.
I'm just gonna say Cam Murray.
Nah, that's fair.
Jack.
Who's that for?
For 11, who's your 11?
Oh, 11, Sean Lane.
You've got Sean Lane.
I do.
He's only played like 3 games this year.
Yes. But they won last week, and Sean was there.
Look,
it was hard. Second rowers were hard.
Oh, it wasn't.
Queensland
They're
has
so
every good
interchangeable.
second rower in the fucking country. Like, I was seriously sitting there. I had pretty much everyone done but my second rowers, and then I literally had to Google who's a New South Wales second rower, and I saw Sean Lane, and I went, I like him. He's going, you're coming with me, son.
You picked the worst one of the 3 at Para too, because Ryan Madison will get picked before Sean Lane does.
Sean Lane,
Okay, so you're
number
done.
11. You heard it here first.
Anyway,
Yeah, oh, hell yeah. Let's talk about number 12 then.
I got Martin.
I got Cam Murray at 12.
Yeah, fair.
I got
Yeah.
Tyson Frizzell.
But you're wrong because he won't even get selected.
You guys are doing what Freddie does every year. You've picked 13 absolute superstars who don't know how to be subservient team players.
Yeah, but I also know how Freddie thinks, and Freddie's going to pick Cam Murray and Liam Martin.
So,
In the
Edie,
second
you know
round.
the challenge wasn't guess the New South Wales team. It was make your dream Blues team, right?
Well, I'd have Freddie Fittler and Andrew Johns in there if I was picking my dream team. But that's not
That's a
available.
good
So you said pick your Origin 17. That's what I've done. This is what will be the 17 this year.
Yours, not Freddie's, but we digress. 13.
Isaiah Yo.
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 Jack, you're such a little bitch.
Such a
What do you
bitch.
know? Fuck y'all. Bench.
Bench?
Let's talk about bench. Is a great word for me because it's what we're named after. My bench is me, Josh, and Andy, and that's it.
And our bums are on it.
Yes, I did actually pick a proper bench though. Randy, who's
Me too.
your bench?
So my bench is, the utility is a Matt Burton.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
have
that's
my
my
front
utility.
my front row interchanges. So when Payne and Gerbo come off, I'm replacing them with Junior Paulo and RCG.
Good choices.
So I'm just literally taking that power front row that's really good and just putting them in the middle of the game because that's a good interchange. And
That's a good interchange.
I've got the Manly fella, Olakatu. I'm not even OLAKAU.
Olakau'atu.
That one. Yeah, I've got him as my spare second rower, and Appy Carousel as the 18th man.
Nice. Jack?
I have Burton for the utility because he can play pretty much anywhere in the back line. I have Cam Murray to pretty much play anywhere in the forward line. I have Damien Cook to rotate out the hookers, have a hooker rotation. And this is the one that neither of you will see coming at all, but I think this man deserves a debut. Ewan Aiken.
Yeah?
That is such a mild reaction.
Oh, no,
I-
you didn't see Andy.
I
What did Andy
head
do?
desk. I head desk at how dumb that decision was.
It's not dumb.
It is the dumbest
Aiken.
thing you've come out of your mouth in literally the last 5 minutes.
That's a new record for me, first of all, motherfucker, so we should be celebrating. Ewan Aiken
Is not going
a-
to get picked.
I know
not-
that. But I'm not guessing the 17 that you are. I'm picking the ones I want to see. I want to see Ewan Aiken play. I think he's a brilliant centre. He can fill in the centres, possibly wing if needed. But I've got a pretty strong, like those boys on there aren't going to need much of a break. I think given the opportunity, he will run forward. He will make tackles. He will do nothing special. And I think that's why he's a good, that's why he will. He's my choice. He's Blocker's choice.
Listen, Blocker.
Everyone's a winner. Happy
Jack.
days.
Jack,
What?
how do you rotate your front row, which are not 80-minute players? How the fuck do you do that? Cameron Murray
didn't think
cannot
about
play in the
that.
front row.
I didn't think about that.
So Jack's team gets beat by 50 points because his front row is just atrocious and out of breath in the first 20 minutes.
Yes.
Josh, what's your bench?
All right, so I've obviously got Burton as my utility
Of
player.
course. Who?
My rotating roster is Sims, Talakai, and Frizzell. And then I've got Cook for my 18.
Once again, you guys. Frizzell. Why Frizzell?
Because he weighs less than everybody else. He's got one nut, so he'll run fucking quicker. That's why we picked him, Andy. Less chafe. He won't get hurt.
18.
I'm glad you two are not on the selection panel. I'm
No, I
so. Josh was good till his bench came up.
I want to remove my number 1. I want to replace that with Sloan.
Oh,
He's been in good form. He's been in form. Not origin form, but he's been in form. He also has such a deep voice than what I was expecting.
Wait, does he got a deep voice? I haven't actually heard it.
Yeah, he sounds like Darren Lockyer mixed with Ben Hunt a little bit. They interviewed him coming off after the first half in the Raiders game, and I was expecting him to have like a 19-year-old's voice, but they were like, how's the first half? He goes, yeah, nah, it's pretty good, eh? I think we played really well. And I'm like, holy shit, I didn't expect that.
too bad it didn't stay out for the second half.
You know what,
Yeah.
we've closed the book on the Dragons tonight. I think we should now move on to ridiculing me about something else. So
Oh, yeah. You have a challenge to do, Josh.
So, Jack, the challenge this week, you will have 3 strikes and you're out. Can you, in reverse chronological order, name every premiership winner in the NRL?
So reverse chronological means start with last year, yeah?
Yes. So, who is the current reigning, defending, undisputed NRL premiership champion at the moment?
Before we go on, I just want to point out that you messaged in the group chat you had a challenge for us, and both Josh and I went, oh, man, like, what's it kind of about? And you went, I'm not telling. I'm going to surprise you with it. I think I'm going to do not good. Because when was the NRL? That was 1998.
Yes. So, the contingency is if you make it to 98, and as does Josh, you have to keep going.
Right. Well, so a little bit about me before we get into this challenge. I watched footy when I was a kid, and as most kids, I went for anyone who was winning. And then when I went to university,
Stop stalling.
Okay.
Who is the current
Penrith.
reigning?
Penrith.
Continue.
Penrith.
Ding.
Yeah, that's 2.
That's 2. Now you. Who was the next champion?
Melbourne.
Ding.
Yes. Before Melbourne, it was Roosters.
Mm-hmm.
Then Roosters.
Yep.
And then this ain't good because I stopped watching from like 2010 to like 2000 and when the Roosters won. Okay. So wait, what year was that?
You're up to 2018.
2018.
So now you need to give me the 2017 champion.
Sharks.
That is your first strike.
Damn it, I know the Sharks are here somewhere. Okay. Am I going to lose all my strikes on this one question?
You could potentially, because you can't move on until you give me the correct 2017 champion.
All right. Okay. Bunnies.
That is your second strike.
Oh, fuck. I'm going to... as long as I beat Josh. Okay. Was it Melbourne again?
Ding.
Yeah! Do I get my strikes back?
No, you keep going. Now the next one wrong, you're out.
Okay, so now I'm 2016.
Yes.
Bunnies.
I need you to remove your mic and get the fuck out. You lose.
Damn it, that's pretty good. I wasn't watching footy, but was it Sharks?
You made it. It was Sharks.
And then it's Bunnies.
Yes.
See?
No.
Fuck you.
No. Bunnies aren't there either, but I'm not going to tell you who. Man, Jack, you really sucked, eh?
Jack, you fucking shit, man. I don't know what you're doing there.
I did fucking better than I thought I was going to do because Andy cut me off like 6 times when I tried to make this excuse. I haven't watched footy since before 2018.
He was trying to stall. So, Josh,
I was.
the challenge, so that you're aware, because you weren't here when we recorded
I'm trash at remembering things.
Can you, in reverse chronological order, starting from last year, name every NRL champion?
No.
You get 3 strikes.
I used
And
all
you
3
can't
in 1
move
year.
on until you give me the right answer.
I don't know who won last year. I've already forgotten.
You're joking, right?
No.
Come on,
Um,
dude.
Who is the reigning defending undisputed NRL champion at the moment?
Penrith?
Ding.
Penrith?
Ding.
Roosters.
No. That's your first strike.
Okay, no, okay, so
2020. Who won in 2020?
Sharks.
That's your second strike.
Ah, that's the year before.
I'm feeling a lot more confident.
Jack's.
I told you I'm terrible at
But
remembering.
come on.
No, I'm. Oh God.
Just take a guess if you want out.
I am. No, I'm trying to think now. I don't remember who was playing in the grand final that year. God, I suck too. I'm sorry for ragging on you, Jack. I'm terrible.
Yeah,
at
Jack
this.
got a lot further
Yep.
than this.
Yeah,
Yep.
don't pay.
So maybe I'm back on the selection committee, Andy, then.
Storm.
Ding. 2019.
Was that the Sharks' year?
That's your third strike.
Ah, when did the Sharks win?
Like 2016.
2016. I thought it was way later than that.
Jack, have you got the list up?
I do. So do you
Alright.
want to have a go, Andy?
I do want to have a go.
Wait.
I don't know them. I was doing that from memory. I knew I could get to 20. I think
I
08.
remember 3 teams have won the majority of it for the past ages.
Yeah, so last year and the year before were Penrith.
Yeah.
Then it was the
Yes
Storm.
and yes. Yep.
Then the Roosters in 2019 and 2018.
Yes.
Then the Storm.
And then
Yes.
And then the Sharks.
Yes.
Then the Cowboys.
Correct.
Because that was the year Ben Hunt did the drop.
it was the year Ben Hunt did drop.
2014. The Bunnies.
Yes.
Roosters.
Yep. He's good. He's good.
2011.
No, I'm up to 2012
12.
here.
I thought you just guessed 12.
2012.
13.
Melbourne.
Yes.
Manly.
Fuck you, Andy. Yes.
Dragons.
Ah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Woo! Yes.
Who did we choke to?
2009. Oh, God.
This is the hardest one.
This is the hard. No, it's an asterisk.
Yep. No one.
2009 is an asterisk. It was Melbourne, but they got it taken off.
It stripped off.
Yep. Should have been para.
2008 was Manly. Manly. Then it was Storm or Redacted.
Redacted. Correct.
2006. Shit.
Ooh.
Broncos.
Yes.
2005 was the Tigers.
Correct. Correct.
04 was the Doggies. 03 was the Panthers. 02 was the Chookies.
All correct.
01 was the Knights.
Yep.
2000 was the Broncos.
Yep.
99 was the Storm.
Yes.
And 98. I'm one away.
You're right there, man.
One away from.
This
What?
is the start of the NRL here.
Oh.
Oh, I can't remember who won in 98. Because 97 was the Knights and it was the Broncos. So 98 was... Oh, shit. I'm drawing a blank.
Just guess. You've got 3.
Yeah, I
guesses
know I've
still.
got 3. I didn't want to get one taken off me. Was it?
So close, Andy.
I know I'm so close yet so far.
I think you can figure it out.
I'm
too.
trying. I'm just
I
doing.
think he can get it.
I think you can get. I think you've got the knowledge.
Fuck.
So who was?
So here's the thing. 97 I know is 2. 96.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even remember 96. I think it was Manly or the Bulldogs. But 90.
It was Manly. You got it.
He's
96.
getting the previous one right.
But you're
now.
not allowed to go ahead until
Until
you
I
guess
get-
this one.
listen, smart ass. I'm
you
gonna
fucked me real hard.
Was it the Broncos?
Yes.
So then we
Fuck,
go.
he's done it.
Then it's the Sharks and then the Newcastle Knights in that order.
No, you were correct in your first guess. So Broncos
So-
98, and you said Broncos 97. Then you said
That's what I
Knights, so
said.
you've got
No. I'm just saying. Was it the Broncos first before the Knights, or was it the Knights before the Broncos?
Knights before the Broncos. So Knights were 97.
So it was Broncos. No, I'm up to 97.
Yep.
So
Which
it
you'd
goes,
already guessed.
Yeah. I know. And then it's Manly.
Yep.
95
96.
95 was the Bulldogs.
Yep.
94 was Canberra.
Yes.
93 and 92 was the Broncos.
Can I just
Yep,
say this
both
is not
against St.
91 is
George.
Penrith. 91's Penrith and 90 was Canberra.
Yep.
Okay, I can't go any further than that.
This is not fun.
I
I'll
feel
tell
really
you what,
smart.
man. Trivia must
You
have
are
really
really
got under
smart.
your skin. Trivia must
Trivia
have
got really
wiggled
under my skin. And I haven't looked at that list in 2 years.
I don't.
That was,
clearly.
I want to say, damn impressive, mate. That was very
that-
good.
Was that Sebastian Vettel levels of impressive?
Look, he did 54 years, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't think I can go back any further than this.
But to be fair,
And I went 2 years
F1
before
is-
I was born.
yep, and F1 is very easy because about 40
70%
of
is
the
Lewis
years-
Hamilton.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like in this, it changes quite a lot. So you had to remember more. So yes, I'm going to give you the Sebastian Vettel Award for go outside and touch some fucking grass, bro. Jesus Christ, that was sick.
I feel better
Josh, what
about
are you gonna say
trivia
to that?
now.
That was. What the fuck?
I feel better about trivia now.
Like, I just. That was just embarrassing for me.
But you couldn't
Jack
remember
Jack
last
got
year.
fucked on the Sharks. Jack made
I
it to the
did.
Sharks, and then he couldn't go for.
I don't remember who wins things. I don't remember things. My memory is terrible. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
No, man, no, don't apologize. You made me look like a genius.
First time anyone's ever done that too.
Yeah. Yeah, weirdly enough, I feel pretty good right now. Even though
Yeah,
Andy
I
smoked
thought
me
Josh
by.
was going to go better. I actually thought you'd go better than Jack.
The second you said Premiership winner, I was like, nah, I'm fucked.
I thought you could have got to fucking the Sharks.
No, because like I didn't really properly start getting into footy until like 2018.
Same as Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
like,
mean, we watched it as kids, but like that's a different.
Yeah, it wasn't
different.
really into it. And then it was like, once we had lockdown and stuff like that, and that's when the NRL was the only sport on.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, yeah, hell yeah,
Footy.
let's do this.
Well, Andy, then you can go backwards, but can you go forwards? So you're going to now predict the next 5 premiership winners in a row, and in 5 years, if we still talk to each other, we'll reveal your predictions. So, Andy, who wins the next one, 2023 to 2028?
Broncos.
All right,
This
No,
year.
I think the
Broncos are the
I
winners
think
this year?
Broncos win it this year.
I'm writing this down, by the way.
good,
Next-
please, because I'm not.
Next year. We do the next 3 rather than the next 5 because contracts aren't like there's only a few contracts through for the next 5 years, so it makes
No,
it.
you can't
Yeah.
even use that. You just have to guess.
Just guess.
All right, Chookies for the next 4.
Yeah, all right.
And Dragons wooden spoon for all 5.
You know what, Josh? I'm going to make a special challenge for you next week, and you just have to name all the teams in the competition.
I could do that.
But not the
I don't know, we'll
NRL.
see.
What game are we playing then?
Make it challenging. Make him name all the teams in like the NFL or the AFL or something.
Nah, Premier
So I
League.
have
Oh, that'd be funny to watch. I could do that
Everton,
as one.
Arsenal,
2.
Manchester City, Manchester United. I'm done.
let's leave the challenge there for now, my friends. I think that was pretty good. Does anyone have
Leeds a
anything else
team?
they want to talk about?
Yeah, is Leeds a team?
Yes.
Let's
It
go.
is Leeds United.
Love life. That team that was bought by Reynolds and
They're not in the Premier League.
yeah, I know, but I just like them anyway.
Wrexham.
Wrexham FC. Let's go, baby.
It's Wrexham AFC.
My bad. Shout out to our UK fans out there who stopped listening because of me.
Yeah.
Jack
Yeah.
Whiten has broken his silence on the bombshell.
Okay, what do we got?
The 31-year-old who has represented both New South Wales and Australia and would have been in the thick of it for this year has told the Daily Telegraph's Phil Rothfield that he wants to focus on winning a premiership. That's why he's pulled out this year.
And you
Actually-
called me an idiot.
But I want to bring. I'm glad that came up because last night on NRL 360 they were discussing this fight and situation, and what they were saying is there's more to this than meets the eye because not only has he retired from rep footy, but he's also knocked back the big money offer from Canberra. So he's the grapevine is he's leaving Canberra. So
Dragons.
I'm going to say Dolphins. The question I have to you guys is, do you reckon this means that there's more going on in Jack Whiten's life than's being portrayed to the public?
Yes, but I don't think that might be the reason he's leaving.
Why do you think he'd leave Canberra where he's the star?
I think his love of Ricky is fading, and I think that there might be internal turmoil within the Raiders that might not be so apparent to some, but might start rearing their head later in the year. But that's only just a thought.
It's a good thought. And it doesn't shock me with the Raiders with the way Ricky carries on.
And just think, I know there's been controversy surrounding them, but I just think there's some internal turmoil that is building up in there, and I think White might be at the center of it.
Thoughts, Jack?
Look, this is hard because anything we say is pure speculation. But I think that he's been offered a massive deal at Canberra, right? And he hasn't signed it yet. He's been offered 1.1 a year for 4 years.
So 4.4 over 4 years.
Yep. Dolphins makes the most obvious choice because there is still this allure with Wayne Bennett. When he goes to a new club, they normally win a premiership. He did it with us. He's done it in
Newcastle,
other
like
places.
a word.
Yeah, but he's still got this allure, right? Like, people want to go and work for Wayne Bennett. Bellamy's not an option because he's finishing.
Yeah. Robert,
There
there's
isn't
no
a spot for
money
him
in the there's no money
the
at the
Chooks.
Roosters. Yeah, there's no money in the Chooks.
Exactly. Penrith, not an option either. They're set. He doesn't have a way in. The next best coach, and possibly one of the greatest sporting coaches of all time, is the Dolphins with Wayne Bennett. I think it has nothing to do with the Dolphins. It has everything to do with, well, I'm finishing my career because he's, 33? Hasn't won one yet.
31.
31. He'll finish up after these next 4 years. I don't think he's playing much longer than that. Your only option to win that premiership, if that's what he wants, is under a coach that can get you there, and the only one who has a space for you is Wayne Bennett. That's where I think the decision would come from.
Good point.
I like the Knights idea, though, because I feel like he might be invaluable to go in there as a sort of larger, over the what they want Sharon to do for Manly.
Yeah, but
I think
the reason I brought up the Knights was he said where Bennett goes, they win a premiership, and Bennett ruined the Knights.
Yeah,
that's true,
good.
but
That was the
like
other reason I was
idea.
bringing up the Knights.
No,
there.
but I like the idea of the Knights because it's been floating by a lot of people for quite a while, and I actually think Knights would be one that would be interesting.
I don't think the Knights have the money. I think
And
that
if it's
they
not,
release Ponga, they will.
yep, if it's not the Dolphins, I genuinely think the next team that would take him and could do really, really well with him is him running alongside Adam Reynolds at the Broncos.
I don't think the Broncos would have the cap space now.
I don't think they need him.
I don't think they need him either. I think Ezra Mam's pretty damn good for what Reynolds needs. He pops up when he needs to and lets Reynolds do his thing.
It's a good point, yeah. I do like
I don't
Ezra
think he's
Man
gonna
too.
play.
I think there's only 3 logical places I can see him going. One's the Dolphins. The other is the Tigers.
Ooh,
The cap for
Yeah,
it.
they would.
bro, they got heaps
No
of
one,
money.
no one wants to fucking go there, so they've got money.
Yeah, they got
But-
cash, bro. Don't worry about that.
The other place I could see him working, not necessarily thriving, is sort of the Dogs, and you move Burton to 7.
They do need a dominant half.
They need a dominant half at the Dogs. I don't know if they have the cap space though with their spending spree, because they've forked out big money for what? Kick out Pangai, Burton, fucking Crichton, Addo Carr. I don't see where Jack Whiten fits in there. But if he could get there, I think Jack Whiten would do wonders at the Dogs.
I would see the Dogs dropping Pengai Jr. for Whiten.
Well, it depends on how long the contract is and how much they got to pay him out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's all those like additional back end side of things, but the Dogs aren't a bad shout. Look, Jack Whiten has options. That's I think what we can all agree on. He
No,
is
I agree.
a very valuable player. And the break from rep footy I like because
It makes
I was
him more
having this chat
valuable.
with a few people. Makes him more valuable, but here's the other thing. I'm going to say a name, and you're going to tell me exactly what you think of this person.
Okay.
And then I'm going to tell you a story. Aaron Woods.
Shazza.
Yep.
He had a great return to the NRL on the weekend. He scored a try.
No, he didn't.
I liked him when he Listen, I don't have the worst opinion on him. I know I might talk shit on Sharon, but he has left quite a strong legacy, and he has made a lot of changes for the game. And I think, especially seeing him, because he played Origin for a little bit.
Yeah, he was
He
in the
played
Origin
Australia. And that's my point I wanted to make, is that when Whiten leaves now, his rep footy legacy is golden and untouchable. A lot of people look at Sharon Woods as this person who's not worth anything anymore, which isn't true. Josh, you've pointed out what I wanted to say perfectly, because Aaron Woods changed the role of the front rowers. He invented that get into the tackle, spin and offload. He has such a fantastic impact on the game and its culture, but in the media and with a lot of other commentators and other podcasters and things like that, they just talk shit on him. And we have too, but it's always because we bring up the fact that he's one of the best front rowers the game has ever seen. Jack Whiten also leaving rep footy to go for the premiership is also preserving a pretty golden reputation in rep footy.
Yeah, I agree.
I think as well, like, kind of knowing when your time is as well for some of the players. Like, as you get into rep footy, it's just another level. And I think Whiten might be doing his own internal reviews and thinking, while I want to focus on the premiership, is rep something that I still want to have over my head as well?
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of players don't know when to let go. And I think if he did this time, it would open the way for new, fresher talent to have their shot at the representative, jersey, and it could improve for the Blues. Like, it might, be the new change that could start a dominant series in our Origin.
Well, we've done our Origin selections this year. If Whiten retiring yesterday didn't happen, could anyone put him in their side this year, realistically?
No.
You pick Burton
Not
over
with
him.
Nico Hines.
Nico Hines
Yeah.
and Burton around. I like Jack Whiten. I was really struggling to put him in there, even though I knew Freddie would try and find a way to get him in there. I think this year in particular, Whiten's... Well, actually, no, I'm not going to call him that anymore. Whiten's done probably the most mature thing he could. He's like, no, I'll take my hat out of the ring. Let's stop me getting picked, and let's pick kids who can win this. Like,
Yeah, passing on the
Start
torch.
the culture.
in a way, yeah. Like, sure, he's only been around since Freddie got the coaching role, but still, like, he's done enough to sort of been like, no, I've cemented my legacy. Now it's time to focus on the one thing I don't have, which is a premiership.
And then this kind of ties back as well when you think, like, these players, as Jack was saying, you need some players who can be a bit more subservient.
Yeah.
Maybe by having Whiten pull out, you can have, you can have these larger players, but then that can have a trickle effect into the subservient players because it's in, the same team sort of chemistry.
Yeah.
That's where I've once again, got clearly why. But like having some of these younger players fall in line because they've been given this opportunity could then start a culture.
Yeah.
And then
That's something
that
we're
culture
lacking.
could be, yeah, exactly. I think it's just there's so many changes swap over. That's why it's too very like you look at Queensland when they had their huge run. They started this culture, this huge amount of internal players that could work together, knew each other inside and out, but then also knew the weaknesses of each player.
No, I agree. It's just, I don't know. Good on him for retiring and taking the decision out of Freddie's hand, because if Freddie probably would have picked him, let's be real. Like, Freddie would have been like, no, I need fighting in the side. And then we probably would have been down a front row or an edge forward in the bench. Because
Still wouldn't have been the worst choice, though.
Still not a bad choice, but I think in this game, you need 2 front rowers, an edge forward, and a utility. Fighting would probably take the edge forward or the second front rower spot. You know what I mean? And it's just, I think that's a wasted pick. And even so, Freddie couldn't find places to play him. Like, he'd have him sitting on the bench for 70 minutes and then bring him on for the last 10. What's the use of that? You know what I mean? Like, that's not a useful pick.
Look, gentlemen, fantastic. Fantastic. Yes to everything. But it is time to wrap up, my friends.
I thought so.
So, thank you very much for listening. We're Bums on the Bench. Follow us on social media at Bums on the Bench everywhere. We're in a bit of a hiatus for our... No. Twitter, we are Bums on the Bench.
Twitter, we're right. It's Formula Bums, it's wrong.
It's the joke.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you listen to the episodes, Josh. Nice.
I try to. I support my mates,
Follow us everywhere. Reach out to us. I'm sure we've said plenty of things in this episode that listeners will go, well, that's horse shit, and wants to comment. So reach out to us. We'll argue with anybody.
Flame
And by
us.
we,
it gives me life.
I mean Andy and Josh. I'm a sensitive boy. We'll be back next week. I'll be joined by 2 new guests. I think these hairless gentlemen have been a poor showing. Thank you very much.
Oh, a little sneak peek for the next week's guest. Sexiest motherfuckers you've ever seen out.
Now I have to find actual fucking guests.